Hello, today I wanted to talk about exercise. This is one of my favorite things in the whole world. One of the reasons why I make an effort every day is definitely something that I practice and enjoy very much, mostly because of the benefits. And I think that a lot of the benefits are going to be extremely important for anybody with a migraine. As you probably know already, if you're following me, I was diagnosed with vestibular migraine around 7 years ago. Terrible dizziness. That's basically the worst symptom I can share with you. And definitely, the exercises that I'm going to talk about next help me getting relief. Mostly, I would say in the moment, relief in the moment. So if I was able to exercise in the middle of an attack, having this massive dizziness during the exercise time frame, dizziness would go away, which is absolutely fantastic. And it had some lasting effects as well. And I'm thinking that definitely for other symptoms like pain and many of the other things that you suffer through, if you keep maintaining this routine as an ongoing basis, you're going to see some benefit popping by, definitely on the severity of the attacks and hopefully with the frequency, so you would experience less and less over time. So the number one that I would talk about is yoga. I didn't think it was going to be such a huge help, but it is. There's three areas within yoga which have, yoga is a very vast, full of knowledge and full of really great benefits and phases, if I can call it that way. But I would say focusing on three is important, especially for migraine, what I found relief on. First one would be the pranayama, which is breathing. You may be laughing at this point in time, but yeah, there's a way to breathe properly, and there's ways not to do it. So there's a couple of methods that I would recommend, especially for relaxation. Number one would be box breathing. Box breathing is basically, if you were to imagine while you're breathing like a box, then you basically inhale for 4 seconds, then stop for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and stop for 4 seconds, and then you keep going. If you can repeat this for like 10, 12 times, and then do it like two or three times a day, it's very, very effective. It calms your mind, it calms you down, and provides the relaxation effect afterwards. And I think it's lasting, especially if you start, practicing daily, multiple times a day. The other method is basically, you deep inhale for, let's say, 4 seconds or 6 seconds, and then you exhale in 8 or 10. And then you can keep extending a little bit, maybe you start with inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, inhale for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 8. That also provides a very deep relaxation, and focusing on the breath is going to take you into a very mindful state. Which is also going to give you a pause to your brain, which is usually very helpful when you're suffering from migraines. And then that would be kind of number one within yoga. Number two within yoga is what we call asanas. So asanas are going to be, the postures. There's many that you can try, and I would say depending on the tension or where you hold your tension is probably something that you need to evaluate for yourself. As a person with migraine, I usually suffer from neck tension, so the postures that help me alleviate the neck are extremely helpful, especially yin poses, which are dedicated to basically help you stress the muscle a little bit, and by stressing the muscle you release the tension because you hold the poses for a long time. Beginners probably 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can keep extending to sometimes even half an hour. And of course, don't do it the first time, but then as you start trying some of the poses, take a look at my Instagram. I recently posted a few series of yoga postures for neck relief, which I find extremely helpful. So that would be in terms of yoga poses. In terms of, the third piece would be meditation and mindfulness. You can try with, there's many YouTube really good guided meditations, probably something that you can start trying. Maybe you can start with 5 minutes a day. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you don't have to start with your 2 hours of meditation to start seeing the benefits. But, as long as you start and as long as you stick to it and have the discipline, is actually going to help you quite a bit, quieting your mind. Because I find that, if you don't control your thoughts, if you don't control your mind, usually the pain or the symptoms are getting a lot stronger and a lot better. It's almost like, your mind takes over. And then when you're freaking out and then your mind is in the middle of, the flight or fight response, then things turn uglier in terms of, your migraine symptoms and the frequency as well. So something to keep in mind. The next two exercises are like probably a little bit more broad and more like a category. So aerobic exercises, I would recommend spinning indoors or biking outside. Indoors is usually a very intense experience, so it takes away your thoughts to be put into the effort. So that's the piece that is going to simulate a little bit of, like the mindfulness moment that you can just, you're pedaling, you're just suffering, and then you're really not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about your problems. You're not thinking about, like, am I going to get a migraine? Like, is it going to be painful? When is it going to come? And then it basically takes you away from the worry to the moment. And then the outdoors is actually really helpful because you could be in nature and, breathing on the oxygen, and then you have to watch out and you have to look. And then, if you could try to do it in like a provincial park or something like that where you can see the nature, not only the fresh oxygen is going to help you, but also you're going to definitely, let your mind focus on that time, and then enjoying some of the things that you see and the ride itself. And then lastly, I would say strength training, pretty broad as well. But, if you're not used to this, you can start slow. As long as you have a routine, maybe you can pick 3 days a week where you can do full body exercises with a little bit of weight if you're very new. It doesn't have to be like, powerlifting or bodybuilding type. You can start with a very simple routine where you do a little bit of, squats, and then you do some, if you have at home, you can do some pull-ups, or maybe you can do some push-ups. Maybe three sets of 7 to 10 repetitions every time that you do your exercises. Or you can actually choose maybe to do a couple of days of upper body and a couple of days of lower body, mixed. So you can have a little bit of rest in between. So the day you do upper body, you can actually do some push-ups. Maybe you can do some shoulder work with a couple of dumbbells if you have some at home. And then, the next day you can do some squats, some lunges, and then a little bit of, wall sits and things like that. So it doesn't have to be like 15 exercises. You can pick 3. And then of those 3 exercises, you can do 3 sets of 7 repetitions. That's probably going to take you very, very far. And the reason why strength training is so important is because, having muscles and toning your muscles is going to keep your body a lot much more stronger. Your bones are going to be stronger, and definitely your brain. Muscles have a really great impact on the health of your brain. And are also going to help you maintain your hormonal level, better balanced. So I think it's probably something to consider for long-term benefits that are going to help you in the long run. So just to summarize, within yoga you have breathing, you have the asanas or the poses, and you have meditation or mindfulness. And then you have the aerobic exercises, which, my example was spinning indoors or outdoor biking. But you could also, choose, fast walking. That would be helpful as well. And then lastly, strength training, which is going to help your brain and definitely maintain your muscles and your bone structure as well. Hopefully you find this helpful, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me into the next one.